It's like GPS for your life. The Sky Vibe Show. For some reason, Thomas, Aquarians drive me nuts. I've heard people don't like Geminis. People don't like Scorpions. I love both of those. But Aquarians, and I dated an Aquarian for a year. He drove me crazy. So top 3 reasons why Aquarians drive everybody nuts. Not just me.
How about 1, 2, and 3?
Got it.
It's because all they know is, don't tell me what to do.
Well, I do that. But I have Neptune in my chart, so that I guess I have part Aquarian. Do I hate myself?
See, if you were doing that, then you were probably reacting to him because he was doing that. But that's the way he is. You were just being that way, right? It's like,
yes.
No, but that's the one thing. So Aquarians are a couple of things. I mean, they are like so fixed and focused on their own drumbeat, their own agenda.
Selfish.
Their own, like, that's one of the key characteristics of the sign. It's all about that individuality being expressed in the world. That is the positive side. And they are.
Yes, and we're in the age of Aquarius right now.
Yeah, we are. And they are radical geniuses. They are the paradigm busters. They're the ones that keep things interesting because they are always coming up with something new. But the problem is, it's all about them. Don't tell me what to do. There's no way, there's no room in to their lives. You always feel like you're outside the fence.
And they always feel they're right. It's like to try and get them to be open to listening to maybe you should think about this. They go, no, I'm right, because they are freaking geniuses.
So if you're an Aquarian and you can practice your genius and then you can find a switch to throw where you can turn off the don't tell me what to do. And one of the things that I do myself for my own sign of Scorpio and my little combination of too many planets stacked together is to observe. Become an observer and just be open to other suggestions and other people's perspectives.
What does that mean when you say become an observer? Because I still have a hard time with that.
Basically watching with mouth closed and eyes open. And you're just open to other people's ways of doing things. You look at somebody and you say, I would never, ever in a million years do it that way. An Aquarian would say, parentheses, I'm sure don't tell me to do it that way. But instead you watch and you observe and you say, well, even use your own characteristics in it. What is the brilliance in what this person is saying? What do they know that I don't know? Maybe they've made this successful and maybe that's an easier way than I think my way is. I loved Larry King, especially when he was at his prime doing the CNN interviews and everything.
One of the best interviewers of all time.
He always was curious about the other person. It never was about Larry King. It was always prying out of that person what their genius and their brilliance was, no matter what the characteristic was. And Larry King was a Scorpio, by the way, too.
Well, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, he's digging deep into that person's life, and that's a typical characteristic. It's that kind of thing, rather than that flash response of, don't tell me what to do, that guard up, that I'm not open to your perspective. It's that you embrace everything with open arms, and you observe, and you may or may not choose it. You might run it through your radical filter of genius and paradigm buster. But you're at least open to it. Don't close the door right up the beginning.
Yeah. And I think also one of the top ones is they're very into community. I know this, into helping the world. They want to help the world, but they need to be able to share their genius when they help the world. They need to be able to be open to sharing that, because when they do, have I learned things.
Oh, yeah. It's like you can always count on what you thought your highest capability was being challenged by an Aquarian. They're going to take you higher.
But we need the Aquarians that are these geniuses. We need them to be open and share and have patience with us less geniuses.
Now, here's something to think about where we might be going in the world. Aquarians also are big in technology. So what's the big hot thing in technology right now?
Artificial intelligence.
2 letters, right, that you are just tired of hearing already. You know, we have AI in this show, the AI podcast, the AI this, the AI that, right? Well, that's going to be huge coming up. I think also medical technology is going to tremendously develop over these next 20 years. But there's also, you think about astrology is built on oppositions. It's built on opposite characteristics. So if you say, don't tell me what to do, what's the opposite of that?
Tell me what to do.
Authoritarian control. Exactly. I'm going to tell you what to do. and you're going to obey, or I'm going to lock you up.
That's the worst side of it.
I'm going to restrict your freedom. So that's this delicate balance that I think we're going to be walking for the next 20 years. It's going to be very interesting because you're going to have just as much force that says, don't tell me what to do, as there will be trying to tell you what to do.
And that's why we created one of the many reasons we created this show is to bring it to every level so we can work together, connect, so collectively we can bring everybody up. Make sure to follow Thomas Miller's other podcasts, including Fun Astrology and Old Soul, New Soul. And you can also find out about getting your own astrology readings. Thank you for listening.